Hi, it's Ashley from AB Sound Advice. Today we are looking at, today we're doing a product preview actually on the QED Audio J2J Graphite Performance 3.5 to 3.5. Now you'll notice the cable we're actually doing the preview on is the one at the front, and I've got the rear one in the background because the J2J I've been selling this cable for quite some time, and I wanted to cover off. Some people may have noticed that there's been changes as time's gone by, and in this particular cable, this is the original J2, and you'll see there, nice looking cable, big, nice, fat, juicy 3.5 connections on the end, and as you know, I love the connections. There's certainly no argument this is a fantastic cable. And you'll see this time we don't have that step down, so this is going to be a little bit more difficult to connect into your stereo. And as time went by, our friends at QED have then improved the cable and taken it to the new step where we now have the step down, and they've made the cable more flexible, so it's certainly in a vehicle scenario where you're plugging things in and out, it's a lot easier to work with. I still like the old J2J, but in saying that, of course, it is always cool to have a cable that's flexible, and this definitely does the job. And again, as I've mentioned before with all the cables, people always ask when it gets to this type of cable, is it worth spending the extra money? And the answer is very simple, yes. With the red cable, when it first came out, again, I had my sales staff and even some customers, we had a test night where we put the music through the front of their head unit, through the red cable, and of course now the replacement graphite one, and you could hear straight off the bat the sound was completely different to your normal sort of $2 or $3 cable. This cable here is around about $90 in the New Zealand market, and of course that'll vary depending on where you live. And if you'd like more information about any of the cables for QED, just go on to qed.co.uk. Now unlike this time we've moved to country, so the QED brand is designed and engineered in Great Britain. This brand has been around since 1973, so it's another long-standing cable brand, and again, have no problems having a QED cable, and I have a few in my little selection of cables as well, and we'll go through that. And again, yes, there's going to be another silly cable coming your way. So, if you're looking for a 3.5 to 3.5, and you'd like to do something better than the standard stuff, and I do recommend it is worth investing in a high quality cable, especially when you're doing your phones or tablets and stuff into a car stereo or into any hi-fi equipment, to make the investment. As I said, some people say, how much should I spend? I mean, to be honest with you, we all know that $89 or $90 for a 1.5 meter 3.5 to 3.5 I consider to be a serious spend. It's a good quality cable, and it's certainly going to be way better than your $5 and $10 cables that you'd be buying, or the ones that come with your product, the manufacturer designed ones. So if you can afford it, definitely, if you can upgrade your cables, especially this type of cable, which is probably one of the most popular, I would strongly recommend to take a look around, and definitely worth getting. There's no argument. QED have won awards around the world, and this cable comes in the 1.5 that you see here and a 3 meter, and that could be great because if you've got a DJ sitting in the back seat, you might make one of your friends the DJ of the night. You can run the cable through to the back, and they can select the night's music or day's music depending on what you're doing. So I hope you've enjoyed today's product preview on the QED Performance Graphite Audio J2J 3.5 to 3.5 interconnect. And again, thank you for tuning into AB Sound Advice.